Genel izleyici, merhaba, İdeler Dünyası'na hoş geldiniz. Yayın başlıyor. İyi seyirler.
Hi everyone, it's Amina, Zhaman and Tayfun Luxembourgeus.
Yeah.
Welcome back to our program where we discuss incredible films made everywhere in the world, you know? So it's truly international and I'm so happy to talk to Tayfun again. This time we will discuss two films. One, Solaris, is directed by Andrei Tarkovsky, and another one, Spaceman, is directed by who?
Some Swedish
Johan
guy.
Frank. So a brilliant director, Swedish director, and author of music videos, musician. So it's really unique. And these two films have a lot in common. And first of all, I want to ask Tayfun, where it's best to make a world premiere of such film, in your opinion?
You're talking about Spaceman?
Yeah, Spaceman and Solaris, you know, sci-fi films, because they're not like clearly like festival films, you know, not social films. It's science fiction. It's for wider audience than festival films, you know. And we know that Solaris was premiered at Cannes and won jury's special prize.
Yep.
And Spaceman was premiered at Berlinale. So very prestigious film festivals. Do you think it's best to premiere it there or to have a wide theater release or premiere it at Netflix, for example, today? What would you choose as a director of a sci-fi movie?
I mean, if I was a director, definitely I would like to compete in such festivals, but I'm not really sure the Spaceman really deserves to be screened in Berlin because it's not a film that I really enjoy, and we will talk about it later because I see the film as like a bad copy and knockoff of Solaris, and I find it very problematic. I think it fits to Netflix because it's the quality, the average quality of Netflix programs these days, in my opinion. What do you think? Where should it be?
In my opinion, it should be released in cinemas.
Okay.
Like directly go into like bigger audience instead of starting you know, showing the film at the film festival and then another, and all these festivals take 2 years, you know, for films with Hollywood stars, you know, it takes like a month to get a theater release deal, but for others who struggle, it takes like at least 1 year to get it somewhere, you know, on TV or in cinema, to see it and to share it with viewers. So to me, it's not a festival film. I would expect to see, you know, at Cannes or Berlinale or Venice Film Festival or Golden Orange in Antalya. Such festivals are perfect for social films. I'm not saying that I only want to see problems on screen, like real life struggle, but retrospectives are great for that as well. And speaking of retrospectives, in 2016, Cannes had a section, Cannes Classics, where Solaris was screened again. So what do you think about such programs?
These are good, especially like creators like Tarkovsky or the Eastern European creators, which has been not accessible during the communist time, during this what's called Iron Curtain period, during the Cold War. So these this film, like Tarkovsky's films, are very well known in Soviet space or Eastern Europe. Likewise, the writer of the film Solaris is Lem.
Stanislav Lem.
Yes, Stanislav
Yes,
Lem.
Polish
A
writer.
Polish writer. He is a very well-known figure in Eastern European cultural circles, like literature circles, but not as well known in the West. That's why such perspectives, or like with retrospectives in the Western film festivals, are a good thing, because it's going to improve the audience's cinematic, let's say, knowledge or the heritage, the culture. Because even though Cannes is organized around the art, around cinema as an art form and promoting this idea, I don't know if you noticed recently there's this commercialization move. The films are more look like Hollywood films. All Western films look similar to each other, because the Hollywood aesthetic is I have to say, dominating the scene in Western European. That's why such perspectives or retrospectives from different parts of the world, plus from the past, is very good thing. I think it's a very positive thing.
Especially winners of Cannes Film Festival. It's not just a film that was in the program, was selected once, but like the best films that won at the same festival before. I also think that it's great to remind a younger audience, or to introduce these films, these directors, to new generations, because you don't see such films every day, you know, in the cinema. It's not something that goes, oh, here, here, and here. No, you need to find them, or to get a DVD or stream to watch it again, or wait until someone put it on TV between trash. You know, it's like, at last something great.
Yeah.
So,
actually, this is exactly why we have Spaceman, because, you know, the Solaris is a well-known film within the intellectual academic circles of film study, or the people who are like particularly interested in the Eastern European examples or art cinema scenes. But the general audience have no idea about Tarkovsky, have no idea about Solaris. And the director and both the writer of this Spaceman, it's like a Spaceman of what was the name?
Bohemia.
Bohemia, exactly. That the writer is clearly knocking off or stealing, if I may say, in what's called quotation marks, the already well-known idea and the story of Stanislav Lem, and reformulating it by adding small, superficial details and presenting it as his own creation, which is that. And the film does the same thing to Solaris as well. The film is exactly like Solaris, other than the spider. It is there. It's just a more shallow version of Solaris, if you ask me. That's why I find it problematic. And I see one problematic aspect here. It's like Western cultural colonialization of the Eastern or the communist Eastern European literature and the cultural achievements, because these are not known. And some clever man from Czech Republic is not a surprise, and he was born the writer of that book, born in 1988. Exactly, 1988. And, you know, he was born how many years? 26 years after the books was published. And he just discovers the book and remarkets it to the Western audience and becomes an established writer. What a surprise. I find this very problematic.
Maybe he was inspired by it so much that he wanted to do his own version, maybe like an homage to Stanislav Lem's novel, Solaris, original novel. And I think that if you are inspired by something, you should openly say it.
Exactly.
Because people feel it, they see it. And why hiding it? What's the point? You know, if I'm inspired by Eugene O'Neill, everybody knows that. You know, I scream about it because he's my never-ending inspiration. So it's not just like in one project, in one film, or in one play. No, even in the comedy Stanislavski Chekhov, I quote Eugene O'Neill because he inspires me so much in all spheres where I'm working. So he's everywhere. His spirit is there. So I think everyone should be open, but has to say something new in addition to inspiration. It's not just like, okay, my inspiration, but what is yours here? And actually, I wanted to say about the parallels in Spaceman and Solaris. Remember the shots of a green
Yeah, leaves.
grass in the water?
Yeah,
It's just, it's,
copy, direct copy, direct copy. It's not
yes,
yeah, okay, it's direct copy.
absolutely. And I really think that Tarkovsky's films, and especially the work of cinematographers in his films, are incredible. They're like paintings. It's way more than just a great shot, realistic or unrealistic. And he actually has both, you know, like real world scenes and unreal. And what do you think about such combination in one film?
I mean, I admire Tarkovsky.
Mm-hmm.
No surprise. That's why we started with the Tarkovsky film, and we are continuing with the second Tarkovsky film as well. I mean, it's not surprise. But as I told you, and I would like to ask one question to you. You're a writer. How would you feel if you were Stanislav Lem and published a well-respected book, Solaris,
Mm-hmm.
and then 20-something-year-old kid from Czech Republic comes and copies 85% of your book and just adds some figures here and there and presents it as his own film? How would you feel? Would you feel this is a, let's say, as an inspiration or something more than that?
More than inspiration, maybe it's a huge contribution to the work of another person. So I would definitely want it to be credited. You know, so like give me a credit. And actually, you know, I have a similar feeling now, and also 5 years ago when I presented my first play, Shut Up and O'Neill. It was my debut as a playwright, and just a few months after world premiere, one person made a similar show, but about Shalapin and Maxim Gorky. Just changed a writer from Eugene O'Neill to Maxim Gorky. But the story, two legends in simple circumstances, of course, they did not have as much in common as my characters, because there is a plot. The idea is original. It makes sense. Each line, each letter that is read in the comedy, it's not just any letter of Shalapin, you know, it's there for a reason. So that's why, of course, when you see a copy, which is not great, of course, because it's a copy, first of all, you understand that you inspire people so much they cannot even hide it, you know, they cannot even have their own idea, own plot. You can be inspired by character or some period. You want to share your message about this or that. But where is your plot? Where are your like other characters, right? And now one person sent me a link to a workshop. It's not even a production, which is stealing of my another comedy, Stanislavski Chekhov. It's just the same thing, same place, story, meeting, location, Berlin, but without waitress. So it's like, I call it my version without Güler. Actually, Turkish waitress who is the main character. If you crop her, then you don't even understand how to steal. That's what I think. So if an author knows, everybody will know it, you know, and the fans, they will also notice that. It's just so clear, you know, and if you are inspired, you should say it. You should just say it, you know, and, you know, many people copy Madonna, great entertainer, a lot of female artists of younger generations than Madonna's, they try to steal something from her, visually, musically, and she was asked, like, so what do you think about this? She's like, I'm glad that I inspire other female singers, and it was so cool. And everybody knows who is original and who is not.
But with the problem, with the case of Solaris, not everybody who watches American films, who watches Netflix, knows what Solaris is, who Tarkovsky is. That's why it's very problematic. And in my opinion, the film is like Americanized version of Solaris, and by doing that, it's dumbed down version. It's like, because Solaris is so deep, it's so complex, so philosophical. But in Spaceman, yeah, he's pretending to have this kind of soul-searching moments, this like moments of clarity, or philosophical moments, but it's not as deep and as profound as the Solaris. So it's dumbed down, watered down version of Solaris. And they are trying to compensate this watering down by adding some tricks, like popular tricks. For example, the film is more, I would say, politically correct version of Solaris, because the characters, all the power figures in the correct film are women. The head of the department is women. The opponent, the person who struggles with is the woman, the wife, and all those things. Women are, by changing the woman figure into authority figure in the film, they are trying to make it more modern in quotation marks, and also more politically correct. But also by their doing this, they're also doing this political dirty trick where almost all American film does. There is this Communist Party reference in the film. So his father used to be working for the Secret Service of the Czechoslovak Republic during the communist time. Do we need such a propaganda?
Not at all. I don't think people need any propaganda or any politics. If I'm interested in politics, I will watch politics. I will watch news or films about politics. What I love about Oliver Stone's films, features and documentaries, if there are about Comandante, you see it like, it's 100% about Fidel Castro, or if it's about Salvador, it's Salvador, the writer, the director is so professional, and he knows the theme so well, and he shares his knowledge very clearly to general audience. And why add in some politics into a sci-fi or into comedy or Spider-Man, such kind of films that are made to entertain an audience. If I go to see a sci-fi film, I want to see something fantastic, magnificent views. And actually, there are magnificent views in Spaceman. The purple cloud is so gorgeous, and purple is my favorite color, just for the record, and it's really beautiful. And I love such scenes. And I see the hard work of a team that made this film. So visually, of course, it impresses you. And in Spaceman, we see Adam Sandler, who is a famous comedian. But here he plays another role. He expresses his dramatic talent. But of course, he is best in a comedy, and we expect him to joke or to be funny. And here is like, he is too serious. He's always serious. We see like the loneliness, the isolation of a character, and we feel sorry for him, for his character. And there are similar problems with wife, right? In Solaris and in Spaceman. So why don't you share that with our audience?
I don't know. I didn't think about that part, but I'm not really impressed by the Adam Sandler's performance. It looks to me like it's a marketing PR project for Adam Sandler's, because they are trying to promote him or repackage him as a like more capable character, capable actor than just a comedy actor. I think he doesn't really play well. He's not really giving a good good acting performance in the film, if you ask me. But I would like to point out another tragedy. You know why Solaris was made? One of the motivation was of Tarkovsky. Tarkovsky said that he watched Kubrick's 2001 Space Odyssey and he found it very shallow. He didn't enjoy it. And he said that I understand sci-fi is dealing with technology and the developments in technology and everything, but there's other issue. It's a human aspect of it. And we should focus on the human soul searching, what this technological changes means for him. And that's why he came with this Solaris. And despite the disapproval of the writer, Lems, he made changes in a way that the film is more to do with philosophical issues than the sci-fi technology or the future might bring. And now what Spaceman does, if you think as this is as an attempt to, how to say, lift the shallowness of Space Odyssey through what's called I forget the name of the film.
Emotional depth.
No. To make it more like more film through the film of Solaris, and the Spaceman is taking it down again. So none of the Western films cannot reach this level of Tarkovsky, level of Solaris. I mean, you can criticize the film, you can find lots of issue with the film. It's made in 1972, but philosophically, in terms of depth and human soul searching, the film is still one of the best films in this genre. And I find it very, very problematic that it's kind of cannibalization, if I may say so. You know, this Spaceman cannibalizes Solaris to make it a commercial success. And they are trying to market it as a new, genuine idea, which is neither new, neither genuine, nor genuine, or nothing interesting, in my opinion. I didn't like it.
And speaking of emotional depth and sense of humor, which is similar to Stalker, we see the same style in the movie he does after Solaris, and I really love the dialogues. And I laugh a lot, you know, even if it's not a clear comedy, still it brings so much joy, and the reactions of characters are so unique. You don't expect them to say what they say, you know, and I really love the script. And I think if the script is original and the basis is strong, then the film will be great with director, cinematographer, other people's, you know, talents added to the script, of course, but without dialogues, nothing, you know, will keep your attention. So I think that's the problem of Spaceman, the script.
Yep.
And the film seems slow because there is no development of script, you know, like
material to work. There's no material to work because
yes, there's not too much to act, you know, and if you're like overacting, you know, it looks weird, you know. If you don't act enough, it looks unreal, and the script is everything, you know. If you ask me, in my opinion, it's everything. And even if Tarkovsky changed something in Stanislav Lem's novel, he just adapted it to the big screen. You can't keep everything as it is in the novel, you know, and make a movie. The same with the movie, when people make a transition from a film to a theater production, keeping everything as it was in the film. It's like, but it's not a film, it's a production. It can't be just like that 100%. You should make changes that are just technically needed.
I think you are being so unfair to them. They made changes. They put a spider.
No, no. I mean,
no, I'm just kidding. Of course, I am kidding.
I mean, addition should be
Because-
way more. So
Yeah.
inspiration can be like a 10% or 20%, but 80% should be original, should be new.
No, it was just a joke, you know.
Yes.
They
I
were
love the
trying
spider,
to
by the
blind.
way.
Yeah, no, they were trying to sell this thing as something new by just adding some CGI in it. Why? Why is a spider? Why is like a 10-eyed spider? What kind of depth did it bring to the film? Nothing, in my opinion. I mean, they're just trying to hide the fact that there's nothing to say. They don't have anything new to say.
Or maybe that a person can find a friend in someone that is not even a human, so or like an animal, let's put it like that, so you can have a dialogue with an animal, and animal will understand you better than another person. For example, a dog,
Exactly.
right? Or a
Yeah.
cat. And those who have a pet, they understand, how grateful they are, unlike many people. So, in my opinion, it's something like that, like a bond, but not with a person, with a spider. And of course, it's not a realistic spider, and we see him disappearing in the end, which is actually sad because. I mean, I just started to enjoy their company. It's like, oh no.
Yeah.
So wife is far away, spider disappears, and in my opinion, the relationship between a husband and a wife is also very strange.
Yeah, it is.
Because if your wife doesn't understand your profession, why even marrying?
Exactly.
Right?
Yeah,
It's like
exactly.
you're there, like in Cosmos, and she decided to leave. To leave where? Being pregnant. Okay, give birth. Wait until he comes back to Earth. Discuss. Go to a psychologist together, and then divorce.
Yeah.
But it's weird to me, and when I see such stories, I think, okay, everybody should focus on their career first, achieve what they want on Earth or in the space, and then find a soulmate to avoid such problems.
Yeah, actually, you're pointing out very interesting thing. I told before, I think I should modify it. I told it it's politically correct version of it. While the creators of the film trying to make the film is more politically correct, actually they're making injustice to the women because the woman, the wife, the pregnant wife, we don't know about her. What does she do? What's her profession? What's her education? She's just a childbearing woman. It's like a traditional role, the gender role. So we don't know it. Actually, it's not really improving her position. It's more problematic than the Tarkovsky's film. In Tarkovsky's film, we know the wife died. I think she was a scientist as well. She committed suicide. Then she comes back in the form of like as a body, but the creature, this space alien, just copies her body. So actually, by doing so, Tarkovsky leaves us this possibility of imagining this imaginary friend by ourselves. It might be anyone or any form we want. But the film doesn't, this Spaceman doesn't allow this. Spaceman, by putting a space spider there, limits our imagination. It's the reason of this Americanization, because at the end of the film should not bother the audience. When the film is over, we should get all the answers we are looking for it. And the film ends with happy ending as well because of that. But the Solaris doesn't end with happy ending. Solaris ends with hopeless image somewhere on the island, like a small island in this planet surrounded by clouds. We don't know where it is. We don't know where it's going to happen. There's hopelessness there, but there's hope yet in that as well. But this space man just answers all the questions to us. We feel good. We reach the catharsis, and when the film is over, we are happy again. We don't need that. We don't need such dumbing down. So in this respect, I don't think the creators of the film respects the audience. They just think that the audience is dumb, and we should answer all the questions for the audience. I find it very problematic.
I want to say that the ending of Solaris is very impressive. The way it's shot,
Exactly.
it's just fantastic. So main character comes back, comes home to his father, hugs him like on his knees, and you see a dog, and then you see like a camera going away, but then you see like a view on Earth from space, and when it goes further, you understand, but this is not Earth, it's
It's
a
hilarious.
space. It's tricky, and it's incredible and unpredictable. You think that, okay, he's home, he's on Earth, he's back, good, but no. So it's really impressive the way they made it in 1972. I can't even imagine, how.
No, but also the more important, the film continues to live in your mind. You are imagining how this character is going to deal with his this new experience, because his long dead wife comes true, comes back again in the form of this alien, and she is more real than the dead wife. And he has this questions of philosophical questions about the existence, about the afterlife. Actually, this is one of the reasons that the Soviet Film Commission did not really like the film, because of this Christian religious references Tarkovsky makes. But he managed to keep these references so well in the film. That's why the film is like there's a saying in film studies, film should be like a stone in your shoe. It should bother you. No, it should bother you. It's a small stone in your shoe. The film is like a stone in my shoe. It's like bothering me. I'm still thinking about what happened. What does this mean? What does this imply? But in Spaceman, no, the film is over. I'm not thinking about Adam Sandler anymore. It's gone. It's solved.
Mm-hmm.
Lived happily ever after. I don't need that.
And after that, he was spotted at Oscars, not wearing a tuxedo. Do you see his cameo? So
Money,
that's what
money,
happens
money.
happily ever after in Hollywood.
Exactly.
I think his problem is that people saw him in comedy for too long, and after that, even if he does a great job, they're not used to this type of a character, so they do not see him as a dramatic actor, and may not even notice strong sides of his acting, because he was in comedy for too long, and it was only like a one genre actor, comedian, and it happens to many comedians, like Friends TV series, great TV series that are so hilarious, brilliant works, great cast, but most of them never make it in films, in other genres.
Yeah.
Because they were in comedy for too long, and maybe they have not met brilliant screenwriters, great roles, just as great as the scripts of TV series they were starring in. So it's all about writer and producer, the team who makes this show or film. So many actors, they think that they are special. That's why the show is popular. But when the show is gone, and other shows are not as popular, then they understand it was all about screenwriters and producers.
I would like to hear your opinion as a Russian. You as a Russian, what do you think about some Westerner guy coming and making a knockoff of a Russian cinematic classic? How does it feel to you? And marketing this as something new. Doesn't it feel like humiliating? I think I would feel humiliated if someone came and copied one of the classics Turkish films and marketed it as something new.
Of course, first of all, it's not honest. If the person says, I'm inspired by it so much, like the director we discussed in the past episode, Nuri Bilge Ceylan, he loves Chekhov so much.
He tells it everywhere.
It's not hidden, and he says this inspired me, to create that, and then we see that it's a lifetime inspiration for him, right? In all his films.
Exactly, and also in this particular film, even though he make references, he copies the backbone of the film. He creates something new. He puts
Yes.
the film into new context.
Yes.
Yeah.
He
So
adds
exactly.
his story, his characters, and of course the basis is Chekhov's, but still he adapts it to Turkish land. Let's say it like that. It doesn't look like Russia, like 100%. It looks Turkish. It looks true in Turkey. And if you don't know, that it's inspired by Chekhov, for example, you're watching his film at Cannes, you will think, oh, that's exactly how people live in Cappadocia. You will not even reference, that it's too Russian, for Turkey. It's well adapted.
Yes.
So if someone makes an adaptation of my work professionally, I'll be happy. I know that it's inspired by me, by my play or script or song, whatever it is. The basis is great. So then, if the adaptation is great too, then the film will be great. But if the person is stealing, then of course no one will be happy. And the problem is not even the stealing, but the mediocre stealing.
Exactly.
That's what bothers me. Like in everything stolen, in my case or in other artists' case, you just see, and it's not like Pablo Picasso said that great artists steal, but they steal greatly,
Exactly, to make something better, something new.
Yes.
Exactly. It feels like someone put this Lem's novel into ChatGPT and asked it to write a new script, and Spaceman came out. It's just like trimmed down, made it popular, Americanized, dumbed down with happy ending.
I don't even know, why they make a remake or a new adaptation of Solaris, openly or hiddenly, but why even making another screen version of this novel or a copy of Tarkovsky's film or another film based on the same novel, like Steven Soderbergh. He made a film in 2002 with George Clooney, also named Solaris. And he wanted to make it closer to the original, to Stanislav Lem's novel. But still, if there is already a great film, great screen version, why making a second one? Make a screen version of another novel.
I have a theory. Because Americans are not capable of reading subtext, subtitles. So they would like an English-speaking Solaris. They would like an English-speaking character acting this in Solaris. And also, I didn't watch the American, but I can guess the American version of that Solaris is not as slow as the Tarkovsky's Solaris. Tarkovsky's Solaris is painful to watch if you are not trained to watch such films. It's very
almost 3 hours.
Yeah, it's 3 hours, very slow, not much happens, and also there are lots of dialogues going on there, so you have to listen, or if you cannot listen Russian, you have to read it. So it's challenging film. It's not a comforting film. It's like a step in your shoe. It's bothering while you are watching too.
What about Oliver Stone's films? They're like a double stone in the shoe, all of the stone in each shoe, right? Great films. I love his work, and I can watch all his features and documentaries again and again and learn something new each time. And I just think that even if you want an English version of a novel on screen, make a movie based on another novel which has never been screened before. Make something new. Why repeating the same, novels, same plays at a theater again and again? Revive. It's like a never-ending revival without anything new. And if an author wrote so much, pick something unknown or people did not read, something unique.
Risky.
Make it yours. Open this material to general audience.
But it's risky now. It's already tried and proven formula. There's a film Actually, there are two films made on that book, that made on this work. So they know what kind of reaction they are going to get, what kind of audience they will get. So it's guaranteed in some level. So they don't want to take risks. They wouldn't want to go for a new novel because it's risky, it's dangerous. There's a big risk of failure economically. That's why they don't want to do that. I can understand that as a producer, as a film producer, they do this, but it's sad. It is sad.
But still, like even a remake will never be as successful as the original one financially, without seeing of a bad copy or like a fourth screen version of the same novel. And actually, there was a two series TV film, Solaris, shot in 1968 in Soviet Union. So that was like the first screen version. And later, in
Tarkovsky.
1972, Tarkovsky made a movie. So that's the difference. But it was like a second version of the same material. And nonstop, you see, like still the directors are inspired by Solaris. But I think they are inspired by Tarkovsky's film other than by a novel of Stanislav Lem.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, one good thing in the film, at least director acknowledges where he gets his inspiration by adding that scene of direct reference to Solaris. This water, vegetation.
Water, green.
Yeah, exactly. It's definitely, it's saying that, okay, I know what I'm doing. I know where I'm coming from, what inspires me. It is there for those who can see it. But the writer doesn't do this. Writer doesn't accept where it comes from. That's tricky. Yeah.
Maybe the director was way more open as a musician first, you know, someone who is inspired by music and film, so not just like a text, you know. So, and visually, of course, you know, if you make music videos, and actually that's why like his film is so beautiful visually, the space, the purple cloud. It's like music video, you know, when you see some like larger than life Backstreet Boys, you know, music video, you see like the space. It's really, really gorgeous. But the problem is the script. You know, many people think that, oh, if they have the novel, they can adapt it just like other person did. No, not even a writer who wrote the novel can adapt his work to screen, you know. Sometimes in collaboration they make it well, but in most of the cases the writer can control the process of adaptation but not be part of it, or make it with someone. So like two screenwriters, the writer of a novel and the director, together they can make a great adaptation. I believe so. And I think many great writers do not give a permission for an adaptation because they are afraid that a screenwriter or a director will ruin the material and will not make it, you know, as great on screen as it is, you know, in the book.
Yeah.
But hopefully we'll have more screen versions of new books, you know, that has never been screened before. I really want to see the, you know, artists taking a step, taking a risk, making something new, opening new writers, and it's really important.
Yeah, definitely. I agree. I agree with you. And I think we already hit around 50-minute mark. Maybe we should wrap it up. This might be a good way to wrap it up. And
yes, absolutely. So I think we will discuss other screen versions in the future episodes because I really love, you know, adaptations, great adaptations of great books. And if a film is based on a book, it's already a good sign.
yes.
So, can't wait to discuss more with you in the future and learn from you and share the knowledge with our audience, Tayfun. Thank you so much.
Thanks for
joining.
today as well. We will discuss about what films we will find next time to discuss, and hopefully we will make it this time in a month. Not so much because there was seconds I couldn't make it in time. I'm sorry. But now I think we will make it. Thank you very much for your time, and it was lovely to talk to you as always. and looking
Thank
forward to
you.
it again.
Bye.
Bye bye.